Jorge Gonzalez, Top Bin 90. We are excited today. We got like an interview with two of the Crown Legacy goalkeepers, Chituru Odunze and Isaac Walker. Guys, how are we feeling today? A hot day in North Carolina.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Great weather.
Nice, nice. Isaac, how's your day been, man?
Yeah, hot as well. It's been good though. Good to sit down with you.
Nice, nice. Awesome. So what we wanted to do today is, talk a little bit about Crown Legacy. We'll touch a little bit on Goalie Wars. We've got a current champ, right, of the Goalie Wars and the representative this year, right, in Mr. Chituru Odunze. So talk to us, guys. Obviously, Isaac, last year you represented Charlotte. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, it was an incredible experience. Rewatching some of the videos now, they've been kind of coming up. Looking forward to this year's Goalkeeper Wars Challenge. So, yeah, it was just awesome, and being in that environment and with the other goalies is really fun. And I'm happy for him. I think he's shown that he deserves to be there this year, and I'm super excited to see him go there.
Nice. So you're more in a coaching role this year, man.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what
more of a mentorship. Yeah, so you'll see the video. We really worked hard getting him ready. So some training, some different things. So yeah, I think all will help him when he goes to Goalie Wars. So.
Chituru, what kind of coach is Isaac? Is he more of a Guardiola, a Mourinho? What would you say?
What's that? What's it? Ted Lasso. There we go. Ted Lasso. I'd say yeah.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a bit of a duh, but yeah. No,
Right.
but it's good. It's,
Awesome. And then I guess your first time representing Charlotte, right? Crown Legacy at a cool tournament like this. What are maybe some of your expectations, or what are you looking forward to?
I have no expectations. I don't really know what I'm about to expect. Of course, I've spoke to him about it. Watched him to play last year. So no, I'm excited. It should be fun. It should be a lot of fun.
Nice, awesome. Isaac, you kind of had like a strategy last year. Like you were throwing the ball a lot versus kicking it, man. Like what? Talk to us about that a little bit too.
So I just found that. So we actually. The day before, you kind of go out there and you do a little run through, and saw how close the goals were, and I was thinking, well, I think a throw I can be more accurate and more precise with it, and really pick out where I want to go. So got into it, and the throw felt good from the beginning. So I was like, if it's working, I'm just gonna stick with it, and yeah, so that's what I ended up doing. I know I saw some of the comments they're saying I can't kick, but clearly something worked.
Bro, you won. You know.
Exactly.
Hey, even when you win, you get haters, right?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Exactly.
I say all the time, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Right?
100%.
So, yeah, I heard there might be a few rule changes after last year.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's the way it goes. So, yeah.
Nice, Chituru. Your throwing game. How are you feeling about it?
I'm gonna bring something. We'll see. I'm gonna bring something. Yeah, I'm gonna see how it is. It depends. Of course, depends on who you're playing against. Depends how the game going. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll bring something for sure.
Nice. Well, we look forward to seeing you guys. Represent. The Queen City. I want to touch a little also on Crown Legacy this season. Obviously, Isaac, you've been recovering from an injury. Maybe give us a little update on how you're feeling so far, because it's got to be different watching everyone play, right? And you're kind of in that mode of recovery.
Right, yeah, and it has been hard, but I'm feeling good now. Yeah, and it's just taking on a bit of a different role around the guys, around the team. Obviously, I was here last year, so I'm still around all the guys and supporting and want to see everyone do well, whether it's C or Nick or whoever's in goal. And yeah, I'm really just behind the team even when I'm out, and I'm doing my thing, and yeah, trying to get back to where I'm in a good place. So yeah.
Love it, Chituru. Talk to us about what you felt in this team this season. Obviously, last year you guys had a spectacular run, topped the East, right? This year's been slightly different, but what are maybe some of the things that you're noticing about this team?
No, it's a really good group with a lot of different type of players. So we've got players that have coming up and down from the first team, of course, like myself. You've got players coming up from the academy who are really, really showing out, like Aaron John, for example. Like, he's been unbelievable. I call him mini Frank Lampard. So, but no, it's a good group who, of course, I feel like it took time for us to mold, had some obstacles along the way, but we're really starting to show that unity. And of course, with the departure of Pedro and Jose, would have been difficult for us, but I mean, the reaction we've had with Kev has been great. So no, it's been a good year. It's been a good start, and I think we can really do something special this year.
I love it. Talk to me about maybe like the team culture, right? Like obviously, you know, with Crown Legacy, right? You know, like you mentioned, you've got academy kids. Sometimes you have players from the first team in, and so like sometimes it's a little bit different. You like from our perspective, sometimes you don't know what to expect in that starting 11 for Crown Legacy.
Yeah.
So how do you build how do you guys see like building the culture when I feel like there's a lot of moving pieces?
I mean, that's a good word you use, culture. Like having a culture from the first team all the way down to the academy is important here. So whether you're a younger player coming up or one of the older players coming down, nothing changes. So you've seen the 17s at the MLS Next tournament.
Yep.
They were out there striving for greatness, trying to win every day, and it's the same thing that you see our first team doing. So really nothing changes if you're talking about culture, because regardless of who is in that team, we're always going to push each other and always going to fight for the victory.
Love that. Chituru, you were, you know, in England, you've had experience there,
Yeah.
Chelsea Academy, Leicester as well. Like, what, I guess, from those experiences, what have you taken and applied here?
I mean, I think more or less I would say just the competitiveness. The competitiveness in England, it's high, it's very high stakes, and with especially football being the #1 sport in the country. So I feel like just that type of mindset, bringing it here and maybe to some of the younger players and trying to help them out with that. But no, for most part, I think football's football, regardless of where you're playing it. So yeah, and especially in Charlotte, it is a football city. I'm telling you, like you see the games at the Bank, at the Sportsplex, like it's a football city for sure. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Even when you guys, the home opener this season, just against a new team like Carolina Core, right? You saw just the fan base in North Carolina, how they come and represent for their
100%.
teams.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It's not often you'd see next pro game with a large home crowd as well as an away crowd. So that's huge, especially coming from two teams in the Carolinas. So
Nice. Yeah. Isaac, talk to me a little bit about, you know, year 2 at Crown Legacy. Maybe what are you noticing? I mean, you've been around for a while with this team now as well.
Yeah, I agree with what C was saying too, and I think the guys understand too the dynamic with playing with the next pro team and the changes that can happen. But I think we've kind of always just had the mindset you focus on what you're doing and make each other better, like C said, and then you work your way up, because obviously everyone's goal is to be able to contribute and try to help out the first team, and we're all one culture, so I think everyone roots for each other. We're rooting for the academy the same way they're rooting for us, and then we root for the first team. So I think, like he said, it's kind of you do what you can do. I always say control what you can control, and then let the rest work itself out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And being a goalkeeper, I feel like it's slightly different, right? You know, I mean, you're all fighting for one position, right?
Yeah.
Versus, you know, I guess like if you play like an outfield position, you can play multiple. Like we've seen players play the 6 to 8, could be a defender. But with a goalkeeper, like what is there a different mentality
100%.
in that position?
100%. Like you said, only one goalkeeper can play at a certain time, and it's not one of those positions that you can really sub off in the 85th minute to close out a game.
Yeah.
So but the same way that there's normally only one playing, that the one playing, it can change so quickly, whether it's an injury, sending off, or really anything. So you always have to be ready to perform, because it's such a position where there's not much of a margin for error. So being ready to play and be ready to perform at the highest level at every single moment, whether you're the starting goalkeeper, the backup, or the number 3, it's super important. And we see it every day with like Dibu Martinez, who had spent the majority of his career waiting, and when he was given the opportunity, now he was ready. I mean, we all
Yeah.
know that. So, and we could probably list off like thousands. I mean, every goalkeeper was that goalkeeper once in their
Right.
life. So, it's definitely a big position where being ready and making your fellow goalkeepers ready as well, because you always know about the GK Union. So, yeah, it is a very different position, but we love it.
Yeah. What do you see
Yeah.
in it?
Yeah, and I think it's a good group here too. Talking about, I've been here 2 years now, and I think the goalkeepers at this club are all good guys at the end of the day too. And it makes it, obviously everyone's competing, but you're also learning from each other, having different conversations. Because at the end of the day, there's a small niche of people who play the position, and we
Yeah.
see it differently than anyone else. So I think even though there is competitiveness, you can still talk to each other, learn. Oh, I saw this in what you did, and then and they're saying the same thing back. So I think that really helps too, from the top down, from Cali all the way down. I think it's a good group of goalkeepers, which makes it nice to come in and train and work hard and try to get better every day.
I love that, yeah, because that's got to be difficult. You're all fighting for the same position, but at the same time, like, there has to be a culture that like you kind of respect as well, right? Speaking about Dibu Martinez, I wanted to ask you guys a little bit about, like, obviously watching Euros, Copa America, you kind of see these different like goalkeeping strategies when taking penalties, right? Like before, like they banned the taunting that Dibu Martinez used to do, because I get like it would distract the players, right? I think I saw Jordan Pickford right before the penalties with England. Like he knew on his water bottle he had kind of where everybody would shoot at. So like, what's kind of your guys' mentality when in a league like MLS Next Pro, where like if it ends in a draw, you go into penalties?
Yeah, it's a mental game at that point.
Really?
You're trying to get whatever type of edge, and you see it. Everyone has a little bit of a different technique. Like mine is different from his, and everyone kind of has their own way of kind of trying to get that mental edge with the player. Whether it's you see the guys walking out, and some of them are saying anything. Sometimes it's better just to not say anything and let them be in their own head. Sometimes, like even if you're looking at the water bottle, you can do it in secret, or you can make sure that they know and see you looking at the water bottle to kind of be like, does he know where I'm going now? So it's all like little things to just try to get in the head of the player taking the kick, and then at the end of the day, you just got to stick with where you're going and try to make the save. But
Nice. It's
fun.
like a chess
fun.
match, huh?
You could say so. For us, the thing I just like about penalties is that I think it's one of the like so few almost win-win moments for goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Like it's more or less you could only be the hero. Really.
Yeah.
Like
like if you don't save it, people are like, okay, it's a penalty.
I can't remember what the expected goal on the XG is it for a penalty, but it's rather high. So you almost expect a player to score it, which almost adds more pressure to them.
Yeah.
If you're told that, okay, you've got a shot now from however many 12 yards, and you've got like a big goalkeeper in front of you, you should score. I mean, I'd be nervous too. I'd be nervous to take the penalty too. So it's definitely enjoyable for us, because when you're the hero, you save a couple penalties, you win the game, everyone comes to you, brilliant. You know, and if the time that you don't, it's not necessarily always going to be your fault. So I think it's one of the few times that us as goalkeepers can really go out there and make a save and celebrate.
Yeah.
It's always difficult sometimes celebrating, because you might make a big stop, it goes out for a corner, you celebrate, they score from the corner, now you look like
Yeah,
so,
like you're not locked in, but like you just did something huge.
Exactly. So it's one of the real times that we can really show happiness.
Is there a sixth sense to that, you feel like? Because obviously Dibu Martinez is a good goalkeeper, but I'm like, he just comes in clutch so much, you know? So do you feel like you see like a player when they're about to take a pen and they're like, okay, this guy looks kind of nervous, or like this guy looks like he's locked in?
I would say it's more of like a presence than a sixth sense. It's not so much that they feel like they know where they're going, whether it is like they do the homework or not, but it's almost as if like a goalkeeper can have that presence that a player will feel like, okay, I'm not making it past this goalkeeper right now. And like you can watch it, like what was the penalty shootout recently? that Portugal played in
France?
with Diogo Costa, where he saved 3 in a row.
Yeah.
No one looked, and so some of them were great penalties.
Yeah.
No one looked like they were going to score. It was,
Yeah.
you know, so I'd say it's definitely like a presence thing, or what the kids say, aura.
Yeah, aura.
Kids call it aura.
Aura, yeah.
The youngins call it aura. So.
The youngins, bro. How old are you?
I mean the youngins. Sorry. By the youngins, I mean like your nipper loves it. Loves aura.
I was gonna say similar to what he said. Yeah, I think it's just a confidence thing.
Okay.
And like Messi, even I think said something in an interview like Martinez. Whenever we're going in, he said I think even before the game, if we go into penalties, like don't worry, like we're good. So I think it's just like having that mindset and going in. And there's just certain guys who have that, and he's definitely one. And I think, especially if you see too, if the goalkeeper saves the first one, I think that almost puts it in the head of the other players, like, oh, now like you're maybe starting to second guess a little bit too. Go. So I think when you're able to make at least one save, then it starts to then they're second guessing their shot and oh, okay, wow, he just saved one now, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I always find that interesting, and so, but cool. Also, I want to touch lightly on just the position in itself, goalkeepers, right? Was that something that both of you wanted to do? Did you, I don't know, Chituru, did you start up as a striker and end up as a goalkeeper?
Power forward.
I
said get in goal.
So I played as a holding midfielder.
Really?
At a fullback. Yeah.
Okay.
I used to wear the number 4, Vieira. I was a player. I'm telling you, I could. In my primary school days, I was but I think there was one day my Sunday league team, Royal Greenwich in England, the goalkeeper didn't show up. And I have an older brother, so as most of us know, whenever him and his friends come over to play in the backyard, I'm in goal because I'm the youngest. So I had a decent experience, I guess, at the time. So I just said, oh, I've played in goal before. I'll just go in goal. And then it was so much fun. It was so much fun. Just going around making huge saves, and I was never allowed back on the pitch, ever again. So
okay.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it was that I wasn't good enough anyway that they're it is an excuse to keep me off the ball, or if it was that I was just really good at goal. But I'm gonna hope it was the latter. And yeah.
Nice. This is a cool story.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that. What about you, Isaac?
Yeah, I mean, a little similar. I mean, they say you don't choose it; kind of chooses you.
Yeah.
Which I feel was kind of the case. I played all different types of sports, growing up, basketball, soccer, but on the field, baseball, volleyball, all these different sports. And so one time, I think it was middle school, I was playing in the field, and they kind of didn't have a goalkeeper that day. So oh, who can go in? I'm like, okay, I can go in and play. And then one game kind of turned into 2, and they're like, oh, you're doing pretty well in this. And then you kind of get the itch too, right? What C was saying, you're diving around, doing all this stuff.
You're doing the most.
Then all of a sudden, then you're playing club forward, and you're doing proper goalkeeper trainings, and then you're kind of then that's it. Then you're in. Yeah. So definitely. I think that's kind of how it starts. You kind of get thrown in, and then
you realize
this is it.
This is me.
Yeah.
And then, is there a save that you guys have seen, or that maybe you've personally done that you're wow, I don't think I could pull out something like that, or either here or something that you've watched? Because sometimes I've seen some saves that are just ridiculous.
So whenever I think of that, I remember when you were younger, did you ever go on YouTube and be best saves?
Yeah.
And then you always see that one by Rene Higuita.
Yeah.
When he
yeah.
just won a scorpion kick. That one is.
That is a crazy one.
But I don't think.
Maybe you should try that in one game. See how it goes.
We'll see. I was Scott Sterling. I don't know if you've seen him. He had incredible saves. Incredible saves. I don't know if so that was going to be
the goal of goalkeepers.
Oh my! And he is back to back, and he takes it off the plate. It's incredible. So that would probably be my pick. That's what came up for me. Best saves.
Think.
Scott Sterling. Yeah.
Trying to think.
There was just a great one. Who made the save in the Euros off the header? It was late in the game.
I don't think I saw that game, but I think I remember something like that.
Why can't I remember the goalkeeper's name? It
mine-
was like point blank, kind of tipped it away from the.
I don't remember the
It
team.
was a header down. Do you remember?
I'm still trying to think of.
Yeah. Mine's was one that I saw. I think it was Bayern Barcelona, the one that Ter Stegen saved, like right there where Lewandowski just shoots at him and the ball's about to go in and he runs and like saves it barely. I was like, no, that was incredible.
Yeah.
You know,
Oblak has a great double save.
Yeah, it was like a triple one. I think it might have been.
Yeah, triple where he like saves it and then saves it again and then does this like huge, big like almost like it's kind of swim move technique to just make himself as big as possible. There's a Neuer one where he kind of just like his arm doesn't move, he just takes it off the hand.
That David Seaman save where it's like a header and it's basically behind him and he pulls it back.
Yeah. That was a good one. That was a really good one.
To be fair, I mean, Dibu saving the World Cup. I think the moment is just
100%.
huge.
You're right,
So
actually.
I think if we're gonna go, that's probably greatest save ever, just because of
the
how much it was.
It's gotta be like the greatest World Cup final ever, too. At least that I can think of.
Imagine scoring a hat-trick and not winning. That hurts. That hurts. That does hurt.
I think that's what can really make a save too. Was like the importance of it, the time, and like kind of what the score is and the occasion. Like all of that factors into.
And that was probably the hardest they could really like. Those are ones where you just like. When you're in your room and you just like meditating and you're like trying to like imagine that.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't even write that. Right. That's nuts.
Love that.
Nuts.
And then we'll end it with a couple more things, like maybe like talk to us a little bit about maybe some of your personal goals here at Charlotte and at Crown Legacy.
Sorry, I go.
Yeah, you can go.
I mean, definitely. So I'm born in North Carolina.
Yeah,
so
Raleigh,
born
right?
in Raleigh.
Yeah.
So super stoked that now that there's a team in the Carolinas. So I would love to be involved in like a MLS Cup, Leagues Cup, like a championship winning team here in Charlotte. So that's a huge goal for me. So in my time here, I'd love to pick up some silverware for the club, especially the first bit.
I love that. Very ambitious too.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's always the goal, right? Is to have a team, successful team, and we play kind of a small part in that. It takes all 11 guys, right? But I think that's what the most important thing. We try to do everything day in and day out on the little things that we can do that make us better to be able to help the team succeed in the long run. So I would say that's the same. I've similar goals as him. Just keep getting better, improving every time I'm out there, and then obviously to make an impact and try to help the club in whatever way I can. So
I love it. And then just lastly, just touching back on Goalie Wars, what are you looking forward to the most there?
Honestly, I'm excited to play. Like, I'm gonna have so much fun with it. Like it's something I didn't really think that I'd ever be involved in, like on that type of state. Of course, we've played Goalie Wars in training, and a lot of clubs do that with goalkeepers some days. So I never thought it would ever become like an actual event. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to do with like a crowd, and so I'm just excited just for the whole showcase. So.
Love it. What about your perspective now?
It's going to be a different perspective.
Yeah.
It's going to be on the microphone.
Yeah.
I already kind of been talking to Jess too. I need to get some tips. You know, so a little bit of different side of things, but I'm just going to have fun with it too.
I feel like you're a natural though, at like just like speaking too. Like I feel like
that's what I'm going to do, right? Like I'm going to go and have fun with it. Obviously, I want to be professional about it too, but I also just want to be able to have fun and enjoy it too, because that's what it is. And when I found out he was going, we talked about I think he's the perfect person to go too, because he has a great personality and we'll have fun with it too. So I'm excited to be there first. Perfect.
I also have a request for you guys, if you could ever get it done. I want Ashley Westwood to do a little goalie wars with you guys, because he took a little bit of dig at some goalkeepers in the past. So
Listen,
get him out there.
Don't let him lie to you. He loves goalkeepers. It's just that you're not allowed. Like, I think there's just like an unwritten rule that players are not allowed to like show love to goalkeepers, because I know in secret they're like, oh, they love us. They love us. I know they love us. I know they love us. Especially him.
Nice. With that said, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bring the title back.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do my best.